We're gonna paint this Blackeyed Susan. Enjoying art as a global artist community. I want to welcome you to join us today. Let's start this painting. First, let's do a little quick study and just use a little light gray color, anything that yourself can see. That's good enough. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the flower, and half of it will be the vase, the glass vase. So you can make the glass vase a little bit smaller if you like. The bottom over here, and the top is the flower over here. So I'm gonna have a little bit off to the right side instead of just straight in the middle. So I'm gonna have this like that, the flower over here, and the top. That is my idea. Okay. Now I'm gonna start with have a little bit blue gray color, splash it. I'm gonna have a little bit more blue color into that. So I'm gonna prepare the excitement for the painting. So now I'm gonna have more water. Now here you go. Is that exciting enough for you? Okay. All right. I'm gonna have even a little bit more water. That is just like a partially getting the wet. Not the entire paper looks wet, but it's just partially. So, and then I also manage the wetness just by using the flat brush. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna start the shape a little bit too hard edges. I'm gonna make it a little bit softer, like that. Even a little bit more water. Okay, now you don't see my table is very wet. Okay, that's good. Over here, move that a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna continue. Now get the yellow color. Start with the yellow with a little bit red. Just use the corner of this flat brush. That's good. Now I'm going to take a look where going to be the yellow flower. I know it's going to blur. Okay, like that. And take a look. Here you go. Just use the side of this brush like that. And that's good. You may be thinking about, do you just call this good? Okay, I think this is good. You're getting some interesting effect, and I'm gonna remove a little bit of it, but I let the water running around, let the color running around a little bit more. Now I'm also going to have a little purple color, so I'm gonna get the red, and with this little bit bright, interesting color in the background. I'm going to have some color like that. And here you go. Okay. We're going to come to do some definitions. Over here, I'm also going to add a little bit over here. Now we're going to have a little bit blue and gray color and set it on the vase. Okay, like that. And then that's the bottom over here. And this coming down over here on this side. Like that. And have a little greenish color right in the middle over here. Green, a little bit warmer. Like that. Here you go. And of course, some thicker color. Now you can see a little bit more blue and a little bit thicker color. Here you go. Now this much thicker and also thicker color over here. If you have the color thicker, and that shape would more visible. I'm gonna have this shape in the bottom over here, coming over here like this, coming up a little bit, because this is inside the glass vase, so it's all appear to be a little unclear. So that's something we have inside the glass vase. Okay, a little bit light coming down, and we're gonna do a little bit management a little bit later. Now I'm going to do something on the table. I'm gonna have a little bit blue color, a little bit more, look like a little bit gray. Now I'm gonna put it on the table over here. Here you go, like that. Now see, it looked like on the table. Now on this side, coming over here on this side too. And the bottom, I'll accumulate some of the wet and all the stain here. Now I'm gonna use the brush a little bit drier, just leave it up. When you're doing the painting, there are two things you are going to deal with. One is your impression, or say your feeling. And the other thing is painting the objects, the color and the shape. And the feeling actually is the purpose of your painting. You are decide on what you're going to select, what you're going to pick, what are you going to let go. That based on your impression, your feeling. So this is very important to try to capture your feeling while you compose the painting. And now I'm going to change to the flat brush. Now I'm going to start doing some lifting. Take a look over here, this corner, and then lift a little light shape. That's good, a little bit light. And over here, I'm going to have some light shape. It's almost dry. So here you go, lift a little light shape. And on this side, it looks good already. I'm gonna leave a little light shape, and on the top over here I have a little light shape. Just use the corner of this brush. You can lift some light. Okay, that the rest looks fine. I'm gonna lift a little bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna change to this calligraphy brush. It's a little bit smaller, but it should be big enough for me to paint those yellow flower. Let's take a look in the middle over here. Now I'm going to do it again. Press it down like that. Is that it automatically create that transition. That's very good, like that. And a little bit. That's good. A little big shape at the bottom over here. A little line over here. That's good. That flower create three-dimensional. Now I'm gonna mix the color a little bit, even a little bit darker in the middle over here, and get even a little bit blue color. Let's take that little blue color, so make it a little bit more darker. Okay, put it down over here. Now we create a separation. Okay, see that? A little bit separation, like that. That's good. Look at where's the tip of the brush. By having the contrast, now you can create the illusion of the different layer of flowers. Now I'm gonna come back here to have a little bit more yellow color. Here you go. Now I'm gonna expand this flower. Here you go, like that. Now you have a lot more clear feeling of the flower behind. At the same time, you make this flower in the front stand out a little bit more. Now I'm gonna come in over here, take a look at this, the flower petal. So you see at the beginning, of my process, I already focus on the feeling, right? By doing these brushes, because I want that kind of look. It expressed my feeling of like spring and then some craziness. Now I'm gonna use the little bit more yellow color, and then the outside over here, push it in to reform and also create the transition. And then the outside, I'm gonna make some color even darker. Now I'm gonna have a little bit thicker yellow color over here too. Now, seeing the way I'm holding the brush, so I actually can make the brush a little bit more intentional. Now we have the pretty beautiful color already. So I'm gonna have a little skinnier petal over there. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit more yellow color. You see how thick the color I've just put in, and so the thickness, it actually creates a statement. Okay, like that. So over here, I need to have a little bit more smoother shape. I'm gonna mix the brown color, get the red, get the blue color. Oh, this color's really, really dark. So get a little bit more red. I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Now it doesn't need to be this dark, but the color needs to be thicker. You see, is how thick is the color can be. Now right there, that's good. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna have just put it on and let it have a little bit soft, and that's it. And that create that feeling of the center of the flower. You can do something over here too, and just tap on it. You know, it's going to expand. We don't want to add too much. It's just a few tip, and we come back to do more later. But that's good. Right, we have that flower already, and now we're going to have some darker color. Okay, now we're ready. I'm going to get that blue color. Actually, this color pretty dark already, but it need to be a little bit more blue. Just mix that with the blue color, with this color. That's good. Now take a look, and I'm gonna have this dark color and coming in the middle of the flower over here, and we can see that the edge over here and this a little bit darker, and see that a little bit darker. Okay. Think about the dark color shape over here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have some flower coming out like this. Coming in, you see it's very, very interesting shape, like that. And some other area is look a little bit less as dark, so I'm gonna have a little bit more yellow color and mix into here, so it's feel a little bit more green, right? But it's not too bright, so get a little red color to it. Now I'm gonna take a look at, okay, there's a little small flower stem connected over here, like that. A little flower over here. Okay, here we go. Continue. Having some flower connect over here. Okay. It looks like that small flowers, they're black-eyed Susans. I'm gonna, I guess because we have the name, so I guess we better to keep it, huh? So I guess we're gonna add it to. I'm just gonna have a little green color over here. Just think about the color, the value, and more important, need to obey the feeling of the whole setup. Okay, a little bit darker. So I think that's enough of the dark color. So now I'm going to come back to the leaf over here. Now I'm going to put it down and drag it. That's good. And the tip over here, even darker. I'm going to put it down. Take a look at the tip. Ooh, that's nice. I'm going to keep that feeling. Now, in the middle over here, and put it down. There's a big leaf underneath over here. I'm going to drag it over. I'm going to change the color on the other side. Like that. That's good. And another leaf. Drag it down and slowly. And that's the bottom. I'm going to have the other leaf. Ready? Put it down and drag it. Okay, and I'm going to come over here on this side. So that is multiple steps. I'm going to little bit like that. And that's good. A little color over here coming from here left to the right. And now with the color at the bottom over here, now also can create the form, support the form of the flower underneath here. Okay, a little bit like that. This is pretty good. Now I'm gonna also use some lighter color, and because the whole thing is still dry, a little bit wet, right, at the bottom. Now I'm gonna have a little bit. I'm gonna change the brush. I'm gonna do two things. Lift up the color, add the color. I'm gonna take this color. I'm gonna take a look over here. I'm gonna drag that over and coming up over here. That's good. A little bit shape. Now I'm gonna do a little lifting, a small lifting. Okay, like this. And now I'm gonna add a little smaller shape. I'm gonna have a little line over here from the bottom. And here you go, cutting up. That's good. I'm gonna have a little shape on this side, a couple small line over here too. In the inside, I'm gonna have the tip even darker. Here you go. This, okay. Have a little line like that. Okay, that's good enough. The things going on in the flower vase. Now I'm gonna have a little bit blue-gray color again. Get a little red if it's too much blue. Now I'm gonna take a look, and this a little bit lighter. Coming in over here, here you go. Like that. And the bottom have a little bit more greenish color. Put it down and drag it and take a look at the bottom of the vase. It's very important that you actually consider, pay attention to it, and don't taking one little information and you're gonna apply to everywhere. Okay, you have to be more specific. You see that I just put this little light color just for here, and it will create a very nice feeling of the glass. Now I'm going to have a little color underneath over here. This is the water, and right under there is also a little shape over here. Be a little bit specific when you observe. And I'm going to do the lifting when it's a little bit drier. Okay, now that's good. On this edge over here, I'm going to lift up a little color. Actually, everything I put it on, it has a meaning to it. Okay, now the center over here getting dry. Now I can come back to add that color to it. But before I go to do that, I'm going to paint a little bit purple color, right? And the flower, purple flower, is a little bit too soft. I'm going to take this. That's good. Now I'm going to a little bit lighter. Okay. Take a look. One at a time. Take a look at that. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. The color a little bit too soft. And a little flower over here. A little flower over here. And now I'm going to have a little bit more water. Now I'm going to suggesting some petal. Now still a little bit too dark. lighter. Okay, here you go. Like that. Be a little bit specific. Okay. Like that. And some flower on the edge over here. Here you go. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. And now already seeing a little bit more suggestions, but we come back to do a little bit more if we need to. I'm gonna have this like that is look, observe, and then you can capture some specific. Now I'm gonna have a little bit yellow color in the middle. Take a look. Like that. That's good enough. Now I'm gonna add the other flower. Take this, the little Blackeyed Susan. Okay, here we go. Like that. That's good. And in the middle, I have some yellow color. So I'm gonna just take the yellow right over here. I know this, they're all wet, so I'm gonna just put a little color over here for now. I'm gonna have a little bit wet over here too. In the center, and that would be a very dark color. But before we go to do that, I'm gonna have a little bit green gray color for the stem. So I'm gonna use this hand holding it, and I'm gonna pointing to the middle of the vase. Okay, here we go. That's good. Okay, I come back to do a little bit more, but you can have that suggestions already. Now I'm gonna have a little bit showing a little bit stem. I'm gonna have a little bit brighter green color. Here you go, like that. And another one over here, like that. A little bit over here. Now a little bit under here. That's good. I'm gonna have all lots of those, a little bit line, a short line showing this. Okay, that's good. I have a little bit yellow color in between over there, but we're gonna do that a little bit later. Now I'm gonna also have this color in between these two flower petal. I'm gonna show that a little bit darker color and coming in over here. That's just the flower in the shadow. Okay, like that. Okay, that's good. Look at that. So the little color over here, it looks like, oh, this is something. Not quite sure, but keep it unsure. That's fine. I probably have a little bit line like this coming over here, and that's look like the stem of it. Now I'm gonna mix a little darker color. Now the painting from very soft and come gradually coming into look more and more come together, more specific painting. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit red color. Now take a look at the Blackeyed Susan, but it's still a little bit wet, so I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna paint the middle of this flower. Now here you go. Now I'm gonna make this a little bit more clear. Here you go, like that. Also a couple line over here. That's fine. And I'm gonna see a little yellow color on this side, and have a little yellow color, and have some yellow color over here too. Even a little yellow color over here for the flower, and also seeing a little green color with here, and get a little bit, and that's good. I can see that there's a little bit more clear color, and I'm gonna have this color coming in over here too, like that. Oh, that's good. maybe a little color over there as well. That's good. All right, I'm gonna come back to take a look at inside the flowers, the vase over here. I'm gonna separate a little color, a little flower like that, and I think this is good. And a little bit softer, a little soft color over here on the top like that, and look like this a little bit gray color. Now let's take a look. I think we need to have a little yellow color over here, but I just put the new color over here. It's still a little bit too wet. Otherwise, if I put the thick color, very thick, that's the yellow color. A little with only a very little red. I'm gonna put it here. Now I'm gonna add that shape. Probably still okay. Put the shape over there. It's touching the green color. They're going to have effect. That's fine. We're gonna see how it's gonna go. I'm gonna have this shape coming down over here outward. Okay, that's good. Now I have this a little bit clear. Now I'm gonna come back to the middle of the flower, and I'm gonna add this a little lighter color. I'm gonna leave some yellow line in the middle. Okay, like that. That's good. Observe carefully. I think that's good. Is give it enough suggestions, enough detail in the middle of the flower, and then this is pretty good. Right, now we're going to give it a little suggestions for the water surface. Now I'm going to using lifting off. Now let's see. I'm going to come from this side. Okay, that's a little light. Now I'm going to drag it over on this side from the left to the right. Okay, now it's already create suggestions, like from the left to the right over here. Create the suggestions for the water surface. And also I'm going to have a little bit suggestions for a little shape. Here you go. A little bit details. And then we're going to come back to, after this drive, and come back to give a little color underneath in the water, create more effect. Now I'm going to come back with some catch the shadow on the table. I'm going to get a little blue color in here. That's probably good. Now I'm going to come over here. This already drive. Let's see. Here you go. When you're painting like around here. Now I'm going to add the catch the shadow even a little bit darker and mix that two color together, the red and the blue color. I'm going to have it right here. Okay, use the large brush at the end. Okay, now I'm going to have it, the center can be a little light because it's glass. I'm going to keep it like that. Drag it over here. And take a look at the bottom over here. Also can have a little bit color so that it make that the vase stand out a little bit more, like this. Now the table actually on this side look a little bit more too clear. Just use the side of this brush. I'm going to soften it a little bit instead. Okay, something you want to be clear, something you don't want to. I want to have less competing. So also over here, I'm going to just light up a little bit over here. That's good. That's good. But you don't want to leave too much. And in that case, it looks like a feeling of overworking. I'm going to have another try. This time I'm not going to splash that so hard. I'm going to just a little bit over here, a little bit more water, a little bit over here, like that. And actually, it looks great. Over here, maybe too much. I'm going to lift it up a little bit. Oh, this flower, I'm going to rescue a little bit. Lift it up. That's good. so it still stand out. Okay, over here, like that. That's very nice. I especially like this. And I think this painting is finished now. I do want to have a little bit clear shape inside the vase. I'm gonna have a little bit darker color, but not maybe so dark. I'm gonna have a little yellow mix into it. Now I want to have a little bit more clear and the water. Okay, like this. And I'm gonna have this and have a little bit lighter right here. Here you go, like that. It's the edge. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. Okay, I'm gonna soften that over like this. Now you see the water surface now a lot more clear, and I think this painting finished now.